I pulled it up, and I yanked up, and I looked down on the grass, and there was this big catfish sitting there. And I looked at it, and it kind of relaxed a little bit, and it was a nice-sized fish. It was the biggest fish I'd ever seen come out of this little creek. Well, I decided I'm going to take this up and show my mom and dad. So I did. I picked up that fish, and I put it in my creel bag, some grass, and a bit of water, and walked back across the bridge up to the farm. Well, it turns out Mom and Dad were off doing something, so I had to find something to do with this fish. Well, we happened to have a little stock tank there behind the barn. Well, I just tossed him in, thinking that if he survives, well, maybe I can show Mom and Dad after dinner. Well, after dinner, I told her, I caught this fish, Mom and Dad, and it's out there in the stock tank. Well, let's go look at it. But better yet, let's go take it a little bit of food. So we broke off some breadcrumbs and went out there, and there's the fish swimming around. I tossed the breadcrumbs in, and they said, you know, that's a beautiful catfish. Well, I kept feeding that catfish all summer, kept working, and that catfish kept growing and growing and growing. And he got more use to that meal than anything else. He would be sitting there at the bottom of the tank, and eventually he would just sit there on top of the water with his head out, waiting for me. And knew how fishes talk, demanding dinner. Well, I went down there one day and tossed in some food, and that catfish came leaping out of the water and landed right in my arms. By now he'd grown to about 3 feet long. And I said, whoa, and I set him down. I couldn't even hold him. And he started wiggling around on the ground, not having any trouble whatsoever. So I said, Dad, I called my dad over. Dad, look at this catfish here. And I said, well, son, ain't too many of them come around these parts, but you got yourself a walking catfish. You take care of that. And that's what I did all summer long. That catfish and I went everywhere together. And he loved to eat more and more and more and more. This catfish got as fat. Well, we have pigs on our farm. And you know how big a big old sow hog can get this big? Well, this catfish was bigger than that. Well, it got to be the end of summer, and I had to go back to school. So I got the catfish in the barn, I shut the door. Well, he immediately went banging on that door. Boom! Well, he wanted to follow me to school. I got kind of worried about that, thinking my teacher's going to like that too much. But, well, I put a little rope around his neck, and we started off to school, walking to school, me and this catfish. Well, to get to school, I had to cross that old bridge. Now, that bridge had not seen too many repairs in a whole lot of years. So the wood on that bridge was a little bit rotten. Now, I, being a light kid that I am, I just sprinted across, and then I pulled the catfish with me, and then I got halfway across, and I heard the boards break, crack, and I heard sploosh, bottom of the creek. Well, I ran around as quickly as I could to find that fish, and I looked down. Oh my God. He drowned. And that's the story of the walking catfish.
The man in the hat, the man who causes smiles, Tom Hobbs.
Wave at the hands in the back. Yeah! Have you noticed, even today, there's a rhythm. There's a rhythm to it. My friend Betty and I, we've danced, and we know there's rhythms in everything around us. I choose to notice that the rhythm does meet a dance quite often. It makes my day easier when I can identify with it. And it wasn't that long ago. That day, 'twas a funny day. I slept so very late. No shower, no coffee. I did not shave. I drive to work that day in the snow. Such snow was a sloppy way. But us to work to earn my pay. Well, I drove to the gate. I parked okay. Ran to my office to sit and contemplate. Last night, such a night, my heart ran away. You see, I was shopping for food late that night when I saw this girl, an amazing sight, near the produce, selecting fruit. I did not see the man in the big gray suit. So I sashayed on over and selected grapefruit too. A chance and a glance, she looked my way. The beauty, the lady, she came my way. Her eyes, her smile, they shine so bright. Her legs, those long legs. She let her body do her talking, then continued my way. Wow, oh wow, what to say? Mutual desire, she came my way. We hug, we kiss, we shout, hooray! With heat like fire, we share passionate desire. Just then, it hit. I felt an awful pain. My head was covered with tomato stain. The man was back, that big gray suit. Mr. Boldface was not pleased with our embrace. Well, I ran, I hid, I ran away, I ran through the crowd, I shouted, get away! I ran, I hid, I felt dismay, so I let the man and his wife go their own way. So I chose to have a tango kind of day. What kind would you have chosen? Go ahead,